Stanley Martin Lieber was an American comic book writer and publisher who was the primary creative leader of Timely Publications, who would later be known as Marvel Comics. For a period of 2 decades, Stan Lee led the Marvel Comics expansion from being a small publishing house to the giant multimedia corporation that has dominated the comics and film industries today. As part of a collaborative effort with other writers at Marvel, Stan Lee co-created iconic characters including superheroes Spider-Man, Iron Man, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Thor, the Hulk, Daredevil, and Doctor Strange. Lee's duties at Timely Publications were initially prosaic, doing supportive tasks for the main writers and illustrators, such as making sure the artists' pens were filled with ink, the pencils erased from their finished pages, and getting the artists their lunch every single day. With the help of his uncle, Stan Lee became an assistant at Timely Comics in 1939 and eventually started writing fillers for the company 2 years later. Lee made his comic book debut with a text filler, Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge, in Captain America Comics number 3, where he first used the pseudonym Stan Lee, an imaginative play on his first name Stanley. Because of the low status of comic books back in the day, Lee said he had to use a pseudonym so nobody would associate his real name with comics in case he had to change his writing career. At only 19 years old, Lee became Timely's comic book division's editor-in-chief as well as art director until 1972, when he surpassed Martin Goodman as the publisher for Marvel Comics. In the late 1950s, Lee and artist Jack Kirby created the Fantastic Four, which instantly became the team's immediate popularity, succeedingly creating the Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, the X-Men, and Marvel's most successful character, Spider-Man, all of whom lived in a shared universe. Eventually, Lee and Kirby gathered their newly created superhero characters into one super team, calling it the Avengers, and revived the most important character of the group from the 1940s who would lead them, Captain America. Lee's Spider-Man was inspired from the crime-fighting non-superhuman comic character Richard Wentworth, aka the Spider, creating a teenage superhero called Spider-Man in 1962. Throughout the 1960s, Lee scripted, art-directed, and edited most of Marvel's series, creating works that built a sense of community between the fans and creators. Before working with Marvel Comics, Lee entered the United States Army in early 1942 and served as a member of the Signal Corps, repairing communication equipment for the military. Because of his influence in writing and cartooning, he was transferred to the Training Film Division, where he, along with 9 other men from the entire US Army, were given the title Playwright. Lee's division included many soon-to-be famous people, including 3-time Academy Award-winning director Frank Capra, who directed It's a Wonderful Life,
Tomorrow and the next day and next year and a year after that, I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my...
New Yorker cartoonist Charles Addams, and children's book writer and illustrator Theodore Geisel, who would later be known to the world as Dr. Seuss. While in the Army, Lee continued to write stories every week for the editors at Timely, and was nearly sent to prison after using a screwdriver to tamper with the mailbox hinges at the Army Post Office in an attempt to retrieve his assignment mail for the week from Timely. Lee ultimately became the public face for Marvel Comics, making appearances at comic book conventions around America, working as an executive producer for and making cameo appearances in Marvel film adaptations and other movies. In the 2000s, the public started to see more of Stan Lee's persona penetrating the public consciousness through merchandising, branding, and even appearances in the Marvel Universe as an official character. In 2006, as a tribute to Lee's 65 years work for Marvel, the studio commemorated him by publishing a series of one-shot comics starring Lee himself, meeting and interacting with many of his superhero co-creations Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, and Doctor Doom. Lee was 96 years old when he died on November 12, 2018 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after a bout with pneumonia and heart failure. So this was how the era of superheroes was created and even brought to life through movies and advanced visual effects from Stan Lee's Marvel Studios. Hopefully you liked this video and found value in its content. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn the notifications on, and I will see you on the next video.